Greetings, everyone, and welcome back to Breaking Bulletin, your premier source for critical global developments. What do you think about the potential collapse of Canada's oldest company, Hudson Bay, after 355 years of history? Please like this video, share it with others, and subscribe with the notification bell activated so you never miss an update as we explore this monumental story. Today, we are diving deep into a shocking announcement that has sent ripples through Canada's retail landscape. Hudson Bay plans an immediate liquidation of its entire business, as reported by CBC News on March 14, 2025, at 20 o'clock PDT. This development threatens to shutter all 80 Hudson's Bay stores, 3 Saks Fifth Avenue locations, and 13 Saks off Fifth outlets in Canada, putting 9,360 jobs at risk and marking the potential end of a retail icon founded in 1670. To fully grasp the gravity of this moment, we will trace Hudson's Bay's storied past, dissect its current financial crisis, and analyze the broader economic and trade pressures that have brought it to this precipice, ensuring you have all the context needed moving forward. Hudson's Bay Company, often referred to as HBC or simply the Bay, announced late on Friday, March 14, 2025, that it intends to begin liquidating its entire Canadian operation as early as the following week, pending court approval on Monday, March 17. CBC News detailed that the company, unable to secure sufficient financing despite exhaustive efforts, plans to sell off its assets by June 15, according to an affidavit from Jennifer Bewley, Chief Financial Officer of Hudson's Bay's parent entity, filed with the Ontario Superior Court of Justice. This liquidation would encompass its 80 department stores across Canada, from British Columbia to Nova Scotia, as well as its licensed Saks Fifth Avenue and Saks off Fifth stores, with the online platform The Bay.com operating only temporarily during the process. The company's statement, per BNN Bloomberg on March 15, expressed faint hope that a last-minute influx of capital or cooperation from stakeholders, particularly landlords, could avert this fate, but the outlook remains grim. Hudson's Bay's origins are as old as Canada itself. Founded on May 2, 1670, by English royal charter under King Charles II, it began as a fur trading enterprise in what is now northern Canada, named after explorer Henry Hudson. For centuries, it dominated the fur trade, establishing forts and trading posts across Rupert's Land, a vast territory granted by the Crown, per the Hudson's Bay Company archives. By the 19th century, it evolved into a retail giant, opening its first department store in Winnipeg in 1881, blending its trading legacy with modern commerce. Its iconic multicolored blankets, once traded for beaver pelts, became a symbol of Canadian identity, as noted by NPR on March 11. The 20th century saw Hudson's Bay expand coast to coast, acquiring rivals like Morgan's in 1960 and Simpson's in 1978, cementing its status as Canada's retail anchor, per the Globe and Mail. By 2008, American real estate mogul Richard Baker's Nerdseed Equity Partners purchased HBC for $1.1 billion from Jerry Zucker's widow, taking it private again in 2020 after a brief public stint, per CBC News. The modern era brought challenges. The company's 2024 acquisition of Neiman Marcus and Bergdorf Goodman for $2.65 billion, per a July 2024 HBC release, spun off its United States Saks operations into Saks Global, leaving Canadian HBC as a standalone entity with mounting debt. This financial strain surfaced starkly on March 7, 2025, when Hudson's Bay filed for creditor protection under the company's Creditors Arrangement Act, or CAA, with the Ontario Superior Court, per CTV News on March 12. Court documents revealed a dire picture: nearly $1 billion in debt to creditors, including fashion brands like Ralph Lauren and Chanel, banks, and landlords, against just $3 million in cash, per CBC News. The filing aimed to restructure, not liquidate, securing $16 million in initial debtor and possession financing from Restore Capital, per the Globe and Mail on March 7. Yet, by March 14, this hope faded. Bewley's affidavit per Global News on March 15 stated that limited additional financing forced an immediate liquidation to repay even this modest loan, with stores set to remain open during sales but all transactions final. The company owes over $950 million to 26 pages of creditors, per court filings, with deferred payments sparking incidents like a landlord locking out a Sydney, Nova Scotia, store and bailiffs targeting Sherway Gardens in Toronto. Hudson's Bay employs 9,364 Canadians, over half in Ontario's 32 stores, with 16 in British Columbia, 13 each in Alberta and Quebec, and 2 each in Manitoba, Nova Scotia, and Saskatchewan, per BNN Bloomberg. A full closure would devastate these workers and leave massive retail spaces vacant, from multi-floor downtown flagships to mall anchors, per the Star on March 14. President and CEO Liz Rodbell, in a March 14 statement, called it a necessary step amid overwhelming support from customers and staff, per Business Wire, but the company's 355-year legacy hangs by a thread. Economic pressures piled on. Post-pandemic, downtown store traffic plummeted, per Hudson's Bay's filing, as remote work and e-commerce shifted shopping habits. Subdued consumer spending, per Statistics Canada's 2020 for retail data showing a 1.2% drop, squeezed revenues. Trade tensions with the United States, ignited by Trump's February 1, 2025, 25% tariff on Canadian goods, per CBC News, disrupted refinancing talks, Rodbell noted, per NPR. Canada's retaliation 25% tariffs on $155 billion of United States goods deepened market uncertainty, per Financial Post on March 12. The Saks spin-off, while saving United States operations, left Canadian HBC with reduced liquidity, per the Globe and Mail on March 7, exacerbating its $950 million debt load. Historically, Hudson's Bay weathered storms. It survived the 1869 Red River Rebellion, the 1929 Depression, and retail's 1992 consolidation, adapting from fur to fashion. Recent decades, however, saw closures. Zellers shuttered in 2013, with a brief 2023 revival and layoffs, per CBC News on March 8. Posts found on X from March 15, like at Infinitus Gaps, question management's inaction with just $3 million in cash, reflecting public dismay. Critically, this liquidation is not inevitable. The Globe and Mail on March 14 reported earlier restructuring plans to save half the stores with landlord concessions like rent waivers fell apart. A Monday court hearing could extend cop protection or greenlight liquidation, per Vancouver Sun on March 14. The retail sector watches anxiously. Simons, a 185-year-old Canadian rival, plans a $75 million expansion into Toronto's Eden Centre and Yorkdale, per CBC News on March 8, as Hudson's Bay falters. A full liquidation could reshape malls, per CTV News, leaving gaps competitors may not fill. This is Breaking Bulletin, delivering exhaustive analysis. Hudson's Bay's plan for an immediate liquidation of its entire business as of March 14, 2025, threatens a Canadian icon amid debt, trade wars, and shifting retail tides. What are your thoughts on whether Hudson's Bay can find a last-minute lifeline or if this is truly the end? Please share your perspective in the comments. I look forward to your views. If you found this report valuable, please like this video, share it with others, and subscribe with the notification bell on for more in-depth coverage. Thank you for joining us. Stay informed, remain engaged, and I will see you in our next update.